Bob, just what is reality therapy with children?
I think reality therapy with children is reality therapy geared to the appropriate developmental stages, the decisions, the problems, the relationships that someone has. At the core of reality therapy is helping people establish and formulate and enhance their relationships with others. And so these relationships of adolescents and young children would be quite different than those of an adult. So we have to gear it to that person's stage.
Well, how do you do that? I mean, what's an example of how you gear it to work with children and teens?
Well, let's take the example of a young adolescent. Their world is very different than that of an adult. Mostly school, mostly family. So we would be really working with them to fulfill those 5 needs that they have, especially the psychological needs of belonging. What are those? Belonging, power, freedom, and fun. Okay. We will be working with them to establish those needs firmly and fulfill them, of course, without infringing on other people's right to fulfill their needs. But we would be working with them to make choices to satisfy those 4 needs as is appropriate at their stage of growth.
Okay.
Would you make some adjustments then? Were you working with a teenager to a child?
Sure. One of the principles, the cornerstone really of the delivery system is helping them self-evaluate. And helping a child or a young teenager self-evaluate is very, very difficult at times because of this, perhaps sometimes, and this is something of a generalization, this desire to get what they want when they want it, then they want it now. And so we would try to help them evaluate not only on that basis, but on the basis of long-range satisfaction of their needs.
And so, what might be a question you'd ask if you were going to have an adolescent look at, say, belonging?
I would ask them, first of all, are you happy with the relationships that you have? And not only are you happy, but are other people happy with the relationships you have? Okay. The other people that are part of their system, their family, their school, wherever they function.
How about freedom and fun and power? Can you run down the questions you might ask for that?
Yeah.
So that sets it up about the client a little bit. What should the viewers look for with what it is that you're doing?
I think it's important to understand that reality therapy, like probably any counseling theory, or at least most counseling theories and methods, emphasizes the idea of the relationship. Okay. The relationship I have with the person, and then that person's relationship outside of the counseling session. So I would look for that. I'd also look for questions that I ask around the W. What is it you want? Are you? Okay. And I don't always just do this in a stereotypical way of, well, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? It's, are you interested in this? How would it be if this happened? Mm-hmm. So look for those kind of questions.
The WDEP model, follow that along?
And look for the self-evaluation component. It only occurs several times explicitly in this session, but it's still very crucial.
And just you said relationship. Is that, if I understand reality therapy well, aren't problems stemming from the fact that people don't have good relationships? Is that
one of the principles? Is that the symptoms, which are categorized in the DSM-4, mm-hmm. and these are behaviors that people generate, because of, usually, mm-hmm. I don't want to say all the time, but many times, because of some dysfunction in their relationships.
Okay,
and so we say that's at the root of it. Even if that's not 100% true, my suggestion is this, is to treat issues, is to start with the relationships. Mm-hmm. No matter what the problem, you can start with that. And I don't mean to exclude other things, but you can talk about it with people.
So we're going to watch the WDEP, but also the relationship is key, though,
that's right.
throughout the whole session.
Mm-hmm. And it could very well be that the delivery system, which I formulate as WDEP, is just a way to establish that relationship. Yeah.
Good. So did you know much about this boy? I mean, we could just
I knew almost nothing. I knew almost nothing. I had not talked to the parents.
And the age, he's 15.
15,
yeah. I guess we're all at the same place. Let's watch the interview and move on.
Okay.